Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to be here with us. We want to make this collaborative and informative session for you. So, if you have any questions throughout this presentation, please post them in the chat. And at the end of the meeting, we'll definitely have some time to talk. So, let's begin. Here's our agenda for this morning. We're going to talk about what's really going on in cybersecurity and in the world in general. How does this impact you, the business owner, the business executive? What kind of costs does this do to your business? What kind of things do you have control over? And finally, how can you use this as leverage for growth? So first, I'd like to introduce you to our team. Underdog Cyber Defense is an IT service provider that specializes in cybersecurity. We help our clients understand their hidden vulnerabilities and we learn what's important to them. Then we put in strategies and solutions to protect their revenue, reputation, and their legacy. I'm Carmine Corridor. I'm the president, and I serve as our client's chief strategy officer. My role involves determining the necessary compliance and protections a company needs, and then find the right solutions to put in place. On screen here with me is Shilkis. She's the newest member to our team and our growth development executive. She's responsible for educating and spreading the word about the importance of cybersecurity, and then just introducing them to who Underdog is. Kelly here assists with our sales and marketing messaging as well. Our client success team, Oscar and Carlos, handle the execution of the strategy that we put in place, client care, support, and compliance. And that's our team. So let me ask everybody a question. Have you ever gotten a weird pop-up on your screen after visiting a website of a legitimate company, or you've gotten some strange email from a company you trust? Have you heard of businesses that have been tricked by to wire money to hackers? These types of attacks are increasing daily and are affecting more small businesses. Okay, so I'm sure everybody here has heard of AT&T, maybe even has it. Did you get the recent email from them that all their systems were compromised, including texts and voicemails? Kind of scary, right? How about the Wayne Memorial Hospital up in Honesdale? They just got hit recently with a ransomware attack that has shut down their organization. And it affected their ability to treat their patients. Now, let me turn your attention to the numbers that are on the screen here. What are these numbers are all about, right? So, a recent report has shown that cybercriminal activity has a year-over-year growth of 30%. I want you to think about that. What is your business's growth annually? Is it anywhere close to 30%? At the end of 2023, the cybercriminal activities grossed about $9.5 trillion. And by the end of 2024, they're expected to gross 12.5 trillion. Now, the world's economy is about $105 trillion. So that makes similar cyber criminal activities make up about 9% of the world economy. Think about that for a second. Now, I want to give you a pop quiz. So if cyber criminal activity was a country, it would be the third largest country economically speaking. Now, without Googling it, don't cheat. What country do you think they beat out? Type it in the chat here if you have the answer. All right, nobody's taking a guess here. So, as of 2024, Japan's currently the third largest economy at $4.9 trillion. So I want to pause there for a second and repeat. Cyber criminal activities is larger than Japan's GDP growth for 2023. And going back to it grows 30% year over year. So all that is to illustrate what industry it doesn't matter what industry or how big your organization is. It's not a matter of if, but it is a matter of when. I'm sure everybody has heard of that before, and we'll explain more in a minute. So every time I talk to people, I always get one of two, a few things. A, how does it happen? B, we're not big enough or important enough to have anything that the cyber criminals want. So, why should we worry? And so I've come up with what I call the front door analogy to help better explain, that the cyber criminals don't need to know who you are when they attack you. They just know that there might be something of valuable, based on the IP addresses or whatever. So here's my front door analogy. So let's take your front door, your house, and you want to replace your front door. So you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, if a do-it-yourselfer, or you hire a contractor to get a pre-hung door, right? You install the door, it looks beautiful, everything's nice, right? So, unbeknownst to you, the door has a flaw in it. If you jiggle the handle 3 times, that door pops open. It doesn't matter if it's locked, it just pops open. Now, the good news is the manufacturer knows about this and has a fix for it already. The bad news is you do need to reach out to them in order to get that fix. The worst news is that the criminals already know about that flaw, and they have a list of people who recently bought that door. So what do? They go to the neighborhoods that, people have bought these doors, and they are, going to take a look and see if there's some houses they can break into. So the first thing they do is they, park in front of your house at the most opportune time. They come up to your front door, they jiggle the handle 3 times, it pops open. So that means either you don't know about the flaw, or you haven't gotten it replaced. So now what they want to do is they want to do a little bit of due diligence, because the last thing a criminal wants is to get caught, right? So they park in front of your house and they do their due diligence. They do a little investigation to see what's going on with your house, with your family, your patterns, your neighborhood patterns, and all that stuff. After a few weeks, here's what they've learned. Your family leaves the house Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Fridays, religiously, you guys leave the house around 6 o'clock at night, and you don't come home until about 11 o'clock. That's probably your family night out or whatever, right? Um, Specifically about your house, your front door light is very dimly lit. So at night, you really can't see if anybody's at the front door. On top of that, your house is covered by a row of hedges. So from the outside, from the street, from the neighbor's house, you can't really see what's going on in your yard without actually being that close. On top of that, you kind of live in a spacious neighborhood where, the houses are not on top of each other. In addition, there is no neighborhood watch, so neighbors really aren't looking out after each other. So that's everything they've learned so far. So now they want to just, you know, take more of a look, make sure that pattern hasn't changed, and as soon as they can on a Friday night around 7 or 8 o'clock, when it starts to get dusk out, you've already left. They come to your front door. They jiggle the handle 3 times, and the door pops open. Now, I want to just pause there for a second. At this point, prior to opening that front door and walking in, they have no idea if there's anything of valuable in that house. They just know your house was easy to break into because you had this vulnerability. So they're going to take the chance that there's something there that they can, either use for another job, or they can actually, sell to the pawn shop. So now they walk through that front door because they've jiggled that handle 3 times, opened the front door. Now they're in your house. Now they start going from room to room. They start going upstairs, downstairs, basement. They're stealing, taking TVs. Maybe you have some art on the wall. How about some, jewelry, right? Maybe somebody left their wallet at home, so now they have, like, credit cards and licenses. You maybe have some passports lying around, or checkbooks, bank statements, things of that nature. They gather everything and they leave your house. You come home at 11 o'clock at night, and then all of a sudden you realize you've been broken into. That's the essence of how a cyber attack happens. Um, Again, I just want to pause here and highlight the fact that they didn't know you before they broke into your house. They didn't know if you had anything valuable in your house, but they had a list of names and addresses, and they used that to just pick out the low-hanging fruit. So that's just something to think about. So I know that it can be a little exhausting hearing about all these breaches. Like I said, mentioned before, the AT&T, um, Experian, all these different companies, and you may even have thought to yourself, well, all these breaches going on with these big companies, isn't my stuff already out there? Isn't my customer stuff already out there? And the quick answer is maybe. See, for a business owner or an executive, it's more than the information being exposed on the dark web. It's more than that stuff being sold or used for other attacks. It's about two things, and these two things can have a big impact on your business, on the future of your business, and the future of the people that rely on your business for their livelihood. Employees, vendors, other small businesses. So one of them is the financial impact on your business. That's the cost of being down, including hard costs like remediation costs, insurance premiums, lawyer fees, etc. But then there's a soft cost like paying employees, paying your employees without having that revenue coming in. And if you happen to be in a regulated industry, there could be fines on top of, everything else that's going on. So just like we recently saw with the CDK ransomware attack, if you know kind of thing, but it primarily affected the auto dealership industry. So about 4 weeks, a majority of dealerships which use this software were completely down. I mean, they were unable to make sales. The departments were unable to confirm or make appointments or order parts. Many of the staff was either furloughed, told not to come in, or the dealership paid them, but without any income coming in. So it was really a major disruption for thousands of people. So the other piece of that is reputation, right? Many states, including Pennsylvania now, are making it mandatory um, for businesses to notify people about breaches. So with that in mind, how likely are future clients going to trust your business knowing you had an incident? How about your existing clients? How likely are they going to return, right? Now, what's worse off is that we are starting to see like lawsuits starting to happen from breaches. So, with all that being said, how well would your business survive? Could the, and the sad part of the whole thing here, and this is the reason why we do these briefings, is that the cost of prevention is far less than the cost of the incident response and the reputational loss that you'll see.
I don't know if you guys know, but most cyber criminals, they're going after small businesses than larger corporate organization. By any chance, does anyone know why that is? So, most small businesses, they don't have the resources, the staff, or know how to set up strong security. Think about it this way. So, if you could make $10,000 in 10 minutes instead of an hour, what would you prefer? Obviously. 10,000 in 10 minutes. And hackers, they think the same way. It's easier and quicker for them to attack small businesses with weaker systems than big companies with a stronger security. But preventing a cyber attack is only one part of the puzzle. There have been so many local, state, and federal law changes in the last few years around data privacy. Industries and businesses that are not subject to regulations and compliance are now required to be compliant. By being proactive, you can get ahead of your competitors and stay out of hot water. Think of it like investing in the future growth of your business instead of a cost. Now, what do I have control over? So you can only control what is going on your little bubble. And some of the ways that you can do that is by learning about your risks and vulnerabilities, understanding your business and your business gaps and evaluating the risks um, level is the very first step. Also, investing in a trusted partner, one that is going to be responsive, reliable, professional, and has a depth of experience. Also investing in a trusted partner that is going to learn about your business better than the hackers do. Designing and implementing a written information security plan that includes a security in-depth solution. And lastly, to develop an incident response plan. Now, earlier in the presentation, we showed you guys our team here at Underdog, and I just wanted to go into details about what that means. So when it comes to cybersecurity, you have different kinds of teams, two of them being the most popular, the blue and the red team. So the red team is going to test a company's defenses through activities like vulnerability assessments and threat hunting. The blue team ensures systems are running correctly and focusing on monitoring, incident response, and data protection. So here at Underdog, we are a purple team, which is right in between those two, which combines the roles of red and the blue. We adopt this purple team approach and then we combine it with our traditional IT support so we can provide a comprehensive security and support solutions for our clients. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering, okay, so what now? What are my next steps? So you already took the very first step by being here today, which we truly appreciate. There's definitely a lot to consider, especially if you're hearing this for the very first time today. Speak to others on your team or executives of the company. Let us know if you would like us to come out and speak with them. And hey, we're here to help, right? Now, any questions?
Let me check the chat here, see if anybody's posting anything. No, it looks pretty quiet. I wonder if everybody's just kind of thinking about all this going on.
It's definitely a lot of information. And at the end of this webinar, you will get an email with the recording and you will get our contact information. So if you have any questions at all, I know this is overwhelming. It's a lot of new information for a lot of you guys. Just shoot me an email or give me a call, shoot me a text. Let us know. We're definitely here to help and we want everyone to stay safe.
All right, let me check the chats one more time, just see if there's any other questions or comments or concerns. All right, I think that's it, Shilkies.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming in today. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, everyone.